guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've sat down and done a sit down video, but honestly this is impromptu. I just really wanted to sit down real quick and talk about this. So the movie not Sinners, I was gonna say Sinners, bitch, I still have yet to see Sinners, but Tyler Perry's new movie Straw. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and give a little bit of my opinion and talk about why I would never watch the movie Straw. But I want to talk about it more on a spiritual perspective, on a more of a spiritual level. I have been, if Tyler Perry has no haters, I'm dead. If Tyler Perry has a hater, it's me. And I have been a hater of Tyler Perry ever since that movie, I forgot which one it was, and I watched that movie when I was so young, and that movie used to be repeated a lot on television, but it was basically the dark-skinned woman, I believe Whoopi Goldberg was also in this movie, but the dark-skinned woman, she lived with the abusive boyfriend. Was it Michael Ealy that played that role? And after that, I couldn't even look at him the same. Who the fuck played that role? And pretty much they had this abusive relationship going, and she had the 2 kids, and then he hung the 2 kids out the window and dropped the 2 kids. Yeah, ever since that movie, I've been having a really hard time forgiving Tyler Perry and watching Tyler Perry movies. Now, growing up, I was pretty young when I was introduced to Tyler Perry movies, and again, I'm not African American. I moved here when I was 11, right? And so I had a lot of catching up to do. And so a lot of the Tyler Perry movies that I watched were back to back to back to back. And I noticed the theme, so I get it. Every Tyler Perry movie, everybody is down bad. At first, I didn't care. At first, it didn't bother me. I was just okay, yeah, this is a movie. This is another Lifetime, really, really sad movie. And then, I kind of kept getting older. And then I kept getting older. And then even before Straw, he had released another movie, I think a couple of years ago, or was it last year? And same shit. It doesn't matter if it's a comedy special. It doesn't matter what it is. Tyler Perry's work is always centered around Black women trauma. And I know he did an interview recently that talked about it's based off the traumas that, he's seen. It's based off the life of his sisters, his mothers, his cousin, and, he's paying homage to that. And I'm just are your sisters, cousins, and moms still going through these things in 2025? It has to stop at some point. And the reason why I chose not to watch Straw is more of a spiritual reason and more of a psychological reason. We have to understand that if you believe in manifestation, whatever it is that you're feeding your brain, whatever it is that you're feeding your mind is what is going to be repeated back to you. Your brain does not understand the difference between real or fake, which is why when you're watching a movie, right, you can start to cry based on what you're seeing happening in the movie, because you can't, and as much as you can tell your brain it's just a movie, it still doesn't stop you from being emotionally invested in those characters in that movie. So, because your brain doesn't understand the difference between real or fake, that's often how we trick our brains into manifestation. That's why we say feel the feeling now. That's why we say think of the thoughts now and feel it now. And feelings with the thought is accelerating to your manifestations, right? So now if you're looking at, this story behind this black screen, knowing that your brain doesn't understand the difference between real, fake, whatever, no, right? You're watching this story. You start to feel you start to immerse yourself within the story. Understand that when you're watching movies, especially movies that people consider good, you kind of get in this trance-like state. You ever watched a movie and you're just stuck to the screen, you're just there, you're captivated. That's pretty much hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? You're watching this horrible story that your brain does not know is fake. Your brain, and because you feel related, because it feels relatable, because you see yourself through that character, your brain is oh, okay, this is our story. Got it. Or this is how life is supposed to go. Got it. You are giving your brain a tutorial on how to live when you watch these movies that are so emotionally charged. when we say the tongue has power, everything, all your senses has power. What you does hear, what you does see, and what you does speak, all of it has power. And whatever you keep putting into your life is what you're gonna receive. When people say like certain things are demonic, like I believe like when Christians say like don't listen to secular music or don't listen or don't watch certain movies, I don't think it's because necessarily those things have negative spirits or demons attached to them, which can be the case. But it's not necessarily because of that. It is because the things that you listen to, the trash that you are putting into your brain, that your brain doesn't know is trash, your brain is adopting it. Your brain is taking it in, which is why when you listen to sad music, you get depressed. Music controls your mood. Movies control your mood. Like, you ever watched a terrible movie or a really sad movie and you just sit there like, damn. Like, a movie is an experience that you live. You're making yourself live through trauma that you've never even experienced. You're making your brain understand this trauma that you never even experienced, that you probably wouldn't even experience otherwise. So it's very important for us to know what we're feeding into our brains and understanding how that can impact us in our lives, and how seeing ourselves through these characters, like, it's amazing when you watch a movie and you feel seen. Like, however, it's not always the best thing. Also understanding that a movie, like a director tugging at your heartstrings and making you cry doesn't necessarily make the movie good. You know what I mean? Like, just because you cried, it doesn't mean that the movie was also good. Which I'm seeing a lot of people say like, oh my God, it was so good. And it was so good based off of the fact that they cried. Based off of the fact that Tyler Perry was able to pull at their heartstrings and get this emotion out of them. Now, I also want to say that this video has nothing to do with Taraji's acting skills or anything like that. Like, this has nothing to do with the actors at all. This has everything to do with the story. Now, another thing too with Tyler Perry movies, I started to feel like the plots were so predictable. Like, I don't even have to watch the movie for me to know what it's about. Like, the plots, if you've watched one Tyler Perry movie, you've watched them all. Like, it's usually a black woman that's down bad. That's it. Like, and I can probably also count on one hand how many Tyler Perry movies actually had a happy ending. What the fuck is that teaching my brain? And mind you, I started watching Tyler Perry movies from young. What the fuck is that teaching my brain? What did I pick up? Like, and women wonder why they end up in these violent or domestic violent relationships and they can't leave. This is what you watch growing up. This is what you watch growing up. Your brain is taking notes. You are literally adding fuel to your manifestations. You're calling those experiences to your life so much faster because you're seeing it, you're living it, and then you're feeling it. Hello. Like, also, people really need to understand that, like, even outside of spirituality, there is something incredibly psychological about movies. Now, movie directors, like, they know what they're doing. As somebody who, like, I studied acting, so I went to Brooklyn College for a year, and before that, for 2 semesters. And before that, I was at BMCC and I was in their acting program. When you learn acting, you learn psychology. Those two go hand in hand. In order for you to portray a character, you have to, or so effortlessly portray a character, you, in a sense, have to understand the mindset of that character so much. Like, you have to be so empathetic that you can understand their mindset so much without judging and then become that character, right? But once you become the character, there are certain things that, you know, you would do that you probably wouldn't think of. So, for example, when I had my directors in college directing me and stuff, like, one of the questions that they would ask all the time was, what is the objective? Like, what are you trying to get the other character to do or feel? Like, It's always everything in acting. When you get into acting, you really start to understand that everything has an intention. It doesn't matter if you do the smallest thing. Every fucking thing is done with an intention. Everything is done with an intention. If you're getting up, you probably got up for a reason, right? You had the intention to use the bathroom. If you opened the fridge, you had intentions of getting a drink. Like, sometimes it's not bacchanal. It's not like, oh my God, fraudulent. But like, everybody has an intention. Even when you're talking to somebody, what are you trying to get from them? Are you trying to get them to like you? Are you trying to get them to agree with you? Like, we're always constantly seeking something from other people. And when you understand the psychology of other people, you know how to move other people. So hold that, right? Hold that thought. When you understand psychology, a large majority of the public doesn't understand psychology. You know how to move people, and you know something that other people don't. So people would argue with me and say that what we're watching on television, right, doesn't necessarily brainwash them, but it does, because it's all a part of psychology. Like, these movie producers, these movie directors, like, they understand how to pull that emotion out of you. It's not just the story. It's not the actor alone. It's the actions of which the actor is doing, right? So if you're comforting, so if somebody's crying in front of you and you put your hand on their shoulder, what are you trying to feel? What are you trying to do? What's your objective? You're trying to get them to feel better. You're trying to soothe them. But you know why you're doing the movement that you're doing. It's the same case. I hope I'm making sense. It's the same case when these producers are releasing these trauma dumping stories that only a certain demographic of people get to live. They know what they're doing to you. They know what type of stories that they are telling you. The best video that I saw on this, and I see if I could put it in the video. I will put it in the video. Was Kia, the real Kia. She spoke about this, and when I saw her video pop up on my page, I said, yo, sis, we're here. Like, I swear to God, we're here. Because I'm not watching that shit either. Like, I refuse. I dead ass refuse. Like, I'm not watching Straw. I'm good off it. I'm good off of the black women's trauma. At this point, Tyler Perry movies in 2025 are about as relevant as slave movies in 2025. Like we've seen enough. To say, like, I saw another interview of Taraji P. Henson saying, like, like, these are real stories. Like, this isn't fake. Like, this is somebody's story. I'm like, somebody's down this bad? Somebody's down this bad. Why can't it be Tyler Perry just hates women? Black women. Because why? Like, who is down this bad on their luck all the time? It's so unrealistic. And that's another thing that I was seeing a lot of people talk about with the Straw movie, is that a lot of people were saying that it was rushed. There was a lot of editing mistakes because it was shot in 2 days. The writing itself felt rushed, like most Tyler Perry movies. Me personally, I do find that most Tyler Perry movies always have like a lazy ending to it. But again, y'all, that's just my opinion. Like, it just usually has a very lazy ending. Like, any movie that I can predict what happens next, like, it's lazy writing to me. And so a lot of people are saying, like, the writing was, once again, lazy. The editing was, like, the movie seemed like it was just, like, you know, thrown together. And a lot of people were on social media, oh my God, standing ovation, the best movie I've ever seen. Like, you like seeing people that look like you struggle, huh? Because what made it a good movie? The fact that it was relatable? What made Straw a good movie? The fact that you cried? Or the reinforcing the same strong woman narrative? Like, I just don't get it. Like, what made it a good movie? It's literally like saying, like, that movie where he unalived them 2 kids via the window. It's like saying that that was a good movie. Saying that movie was good is equivalent to saying that 12 Years a Slave was a good movie. Like, if you don't see the problem with what I'm saying, then, like, you should really unpack that. To say a movie like 12 Years a Slave was a good movie, you need to unpack that. it wasn't a good movie. It was a movie that was very emotionally charged for one particular group of people, but it wasn't a good movie. Like, a good movie is a movie that I would want to put on again and again and again. A good movie is a feel-good movie. A good movie is a movie where I can see myself through that character and feel fucking empowered. The best movie, this is why I love sci-fi. Sci-fi, when you watch sci-fi has the ability to make you feel empowered. This is what we need to consume. We need to consume empowerment. We need to consume positivity. We need to consume abundance. You will never be motherfucking abundant if you keep taking in poor shit. Yeah, this is reality. Yeah, this is truth. Yeah, this is how life is supposed to go. That's what you're telling your brain every time you watch those movies. A lot of people are saying, oh, if you didn't like the movie, I see straw. A lot of people are saying straw went come on, bitch, English. I'm seeing a lot of people either on TikTok saying straw went over your head. I see a lot of y'all didn't understand straw. Bitch, I didn't watch straw. It would never go over my head. People have basic comprehension skills. I know that if you give me a sad story, it's probably going to make me cry. Why? Because I'm empathetic. If you give me a sad story, I'm going to cry because I'm empathetic. And my brain also doesn't understand the difference between real or fake. So for me to say that was a good movie because of that, I would never see myself through any of the Tyler Perry characters, any of the black women in Tyler Perry movies. I rebuke that. I rebuke that in the name of God. And I pray to God that I do not relate to any of Tyler Perry's characters. Like, I praise God. Like, that is a good life to live. Like, I never, ever, ever want to see myself, my beautiful, expensive, abundant self, through a character that Tyler Perry created. Hell no. I've seen myself in a lot of characters. Like, if I could fucking think of that movie that I watched on Hulu. If I can find it, okay, I'm going to explain it because I know somebody's probably going to catch it. Some girl, her name was like very similar to mine too, if I'm not mistaken. What the fuck? Okay, I'm getting it. She fell, hit her head, and she had a job interview. She was on her way to a job interview, and she needed a job. She went to the bathroom, and then she fell, hit her head, and then started, like, I guess, dreaming or hallucinating, and she basically was living her dream life in this, delusion of hers while she's laid out on the bathroom floor. And one thing that stuck with me in that movie was she looked at herself in the mirror, and when she discovered the truth, she says, like, I declare myself blah blah blah, the blah blah blah. And that movie, like, I still have goosebumps thinking about it. Because that movie made me. I was in such a bad space in my life when I watched that movie, and that movie picked me up. And I still think that movie, like, and that's how true it is, because I feel like crying thinking about this. Like, that movie really propelled my manifestations. Because, like, I remember right after watching that movie, I got up, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I say, I'm Nayla, and I declare myself an influencer. I wrote it down too. And then not too long after that, I blew up on TikTok. I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm flying. The movies that you're watching, the songs that you're listening to, the words that you say should all be of life. Should all either put life into you, speak life into you, or see life into you. Not the other way around. And that is why your favorite Haitian homegirl would never watch the movie Straw. Because I already know I can't relate. I don't relate to struggle stories. No, ma'am, I don't. All right, y'all. That was pretty much it. I know that, oh my God. I know that not everybody's going to agree with this. A lot of people are probably going to say, no, the movie was amazing. Like, I see myself through it. And there's nothing wrong with seeing yourself through struggle and misery. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people that are miserable. But I challenge you to see yourself in a better light. How about that? Yeah. All right, y'all. I know a lot of y'all are gonna disagree. You feel free to disagree. Let me know down in the comments what you think, what your opinions were. Did you watch the movie, and what did you think about the movie? If this is your first time seeing my face, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I'm gonna give you a second. And then you liked it too. So I feel like that's enough time. Right? Y'all did it? Y'all subscribed? Okay, cool. We're almost close to 50K. Oh, and I have an announcement to make, y'all. I'm going to tell it on my page. I be going on live now on YouTube. Yes, I be going live on YouTube. And I be telling live spooky stories on YouTube. So I be telling them on Mondays. So if you have time, or Mondays around 12 p.m. New York time, drop in. I'll probably be on live telling spooky stories. And once we officially hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, I am going to do a 2-hour spooky story. I am going to do a 2-hour marathon telling. The first hour is going to be telling spooky stories that were submitted. And then the second hour is going to be an entire hour of Choose Your Fate. So we're going to be playing together live, welcoming all 50,000 of you guys. Like I say at the end of every single video, I love you, my abducted humans, from your favorite Haitian homegirl. Before I go, guys, I have merch. Why y'all not buying my merch? Like, y'all know I got merch, right? I got merch. Click the link down below in my description to cop your very own abducted human merch. All right, now I can say it again. Like I say at the end of every single video, I love you, my abducted humans, from your favorite Haitian homegirl.